High income doesn't automatically mean high net worth. A lot of people find that out the hard way. They work their way up to 80, 90, 100, even 120,000 a year, and they think, okay, this is it. This is when money finally starts staying. But the money doesn't stay. The checking account still hits zero before payday. Credit cards are still there. Savings is still thin. And then the shame kicks in. How am I making this much and still feel broke? You're not crazy. The problem isn't that you can't manage money. The problem is that as your income climbed, your life expanded to match it. Housing, car, kids, social life, subscriptions, debt. So the money is leaving, just in more professional ways. Today, we're going to walk through exactly where it goes when people make good money, but don't build wealth, and then I'll give you the fixes. Let's start with the obvious one, housing. This is the number one place high earners leak money. When people get a raise, they don't just move. They move up. Nicer area, more space, better finishes, better school district, shorter commute. And it all makes sense emotionally. But the math is brutal. Going from 1,700 rent to 2,500 because I can afford it now is 800 a month gone forever. That's 9,600 a year. Over 5 years, that's 48,000 that could have gone to investments, debt, or a down payment. Housing is sneaky because it looks respectable. Nobody will judge you for paying a high rent in a nice neighborhood. But it's still money that can't go to your future. If your must-have housing number is too high, you will always feel broke, no matter how much you make. Second leak, cars. Not just one car, the upgraded car, the second car, the SUV for the kids, the truck, because we can now. High-income people don't buy beater cars. They get financed cars. 4, 5, 600 a month. Sometimes 800, sometimes 2 of them. Add insurance, gas, winter tires, repairs, and you're very quickly at 1,000 to 1,400 a month just to move around. That is the price of someone else's mortgage. And again, nobody calls you irresponsible because you have a nice car and a good job. It looks aligned. But wealth doesn't care what it looks like. Wealth cares about how much of your income survives the month. If 15 to 20% of your take-home is tied up in vehicles, that is why you feel broke. Third leak, kids and lifestyle around kids. This one is touchy, but it's real. When income rises, parents want to give more. Better daycare, better sports, better gear, camps, birthday parties, travel. None of that is bad. But kid spending can expand infinitely if you don't cap it. What happens with high-income families is that they pay all the must-haves, then they pour everything else into making life nice right now, and there's nothing left to invest. That's how people making 110K in a 2-income household can still have 2,000 a month of stuff for the kids and zero going to retirement. Fourth leak, social and peer spending. The friends you have when you make 50K are not always the same kind of spenders as when you make 100K. As you move up, people eat out more, they travel more, they do weekends away, nicer restaurants, bigger gifts. You don't want to be the only one saying no, so you match. Even if you don't do it every weekend, a couple of $150 to $200 nights, plus a birthday, plus a trip, and you've burned $600 to $1,000 for the month. That's the investment money. That's the debt payoff money. You didn't lose it in one big bad decision, you lost it in 6 socially acceptable decisions. Fifth leak, subscriptions, conveniences, and upgrades. This is the death by 1,000 cuts part. Streaming, extra storage, multiple music services, food delivery, coffee out because you're busy, Uber because you're tired, cleaning service, meal kits. High income buys time, which is good. But high income, people forget to ask, is this still helping me reach my actual goals, or am I just buying comfort because I can? 200 to 300 a month on this stuff is normal. 400 to 600 is common. Over a year, that is car payoff money or ETF money. Sixth leak, debt that never got cleaned up. A lot of people carry 20s debt into 30s and 40s. Old credit cards, student loans, line of credit, furniture financing, maybe some medical. And here's the dangerous part. Because they now have higher income, they can afford the minimums easily. So the debt feels harmless. It's not. If 500 to 800 a month is servicing old decisions, that's a huge chunk of the money that could be building wealth. High income should be a debt killer decade, not a debt maintenance decade. So if we add all of that up, what do we get? Let's build a realistic high income but broke month. Take home 6,500. Housing 2,400. Cars, payment, insurance, gas 1,100. Kids and school and activities 600. Food in and out 800. Subscriptions, phone, internet, conveniences 300. Debt 500. Social and random 400. That's 6,100. You have 400 left. That is why you can afford everything and still have nothing. You did not fail. The math did exactly what you told it to do. Now here's the fix. High income doesn't need a strict budget. High income needs ceilings. You don't have to track every coffee. You have to make sure housing never goes over 30% of take-home. You have to make sure cars never go over 10 to 12% of take-home. You have to make sure lifestyle never goes over 20% of take-home. And you have to make sure saving and investing is locked in at 15 to 25%. If you set those ceilings, your money will start staying. Let's go through the big levers, because high income has big levers. Lever 1, cap housing. If you're taking home 6,500 and paying 3,000 in rent, that's your entire problem. I know moving down sounds like a step backward, but moving from 3,000 to 2,200 is 800 a month. 800 a month invested for 10 years at 7% is over 130,000. Staying in the nice place costs you 6 figures. Nobody says it like that, but that's what it is. If you don't want to move, then the other levers have to be stronger. Lever 2. Fix the cars. If you are paying 1,100 a month for vehicles, this is where your raise is going. You need to get at least one payment off your plate or push the next car off by a year or two. High-income people hate this advice because they can afford it. Yes, you can afford it. That doesn't mean it's smart. You can afford to stay broke too. Doesn't mean you should. Lever 3. Automate investing the day after payday. High-income people make a huge mistake. They wait to see what's left. Because there's usually something left. And then life happens, and there isn't. If you make good money, your investing should be boring and automatic. 10 to 15% minimum. 20 to 25% if you're catching up or want to retire early. On 6,500 take-home, 15% is 975. Round it to 1,000 and be done. If you actually move that 1,000 on payday, you can live on the other 5,500 just fine. But if you leave it in checking, lifestyle will eat it. Lever 4. Give lifestyle a fixed allowance. Your social calendar is not allowed to decide your money. You decide first, then socialize inside that. Pick a number. 300, 400, 500, and that is the pot for restaurants, going out, small travel, extras. If your friends are going harder than that, you start saying, I'm maxed this month, I'll catch the next one. High-income people think they don't need to say no. That's why they stay broke. Everyone needs a no. Lever 5. Clean the old debt with your new income. This is one of the best parts of making more. You can erase old mistakes faster. If you have 7,000 on a credit card and you make 90K, that debt should not be here next year. Throw 500 a month at it, plus your minimum, and be done in a year. Then redirect that 500 to investing or to building a real emergency fund so you don't go back. Let me show you the before and after of the same income. Before, 6,500 in, 3,000 housing, 1,100 car, 800 food, 500 debt, 300 subs, 400 social. Leftover și remzele. After, 6,500 in, 2,300 housing, 700 car, 800 food, 400 debt, 300 subs, 400 social, 1000 automatic investing. Now you end the month with an actual asset. Nothing magical happened. You just told 1000 where to go and you stopped letting housing and cars bloat up. This is the line I want you to say in the video. High income does not forgive bad structure. If your money leaves in the wrong order at 50k, it will leave in the wrong order at 100k. The numbers will just be bigger,